Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to play Logbait. This is going to be the official classic Logbait guide for 2024 with the Goblin Barrel evolution. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is going to be my best guide yet. First off here, we will be up against, I think, Goblin Drill. And this applies to every single matchup, no matter what. First off, you always want to identify what your opponent is playing. That's the most important thing to do with Logbait, no matter what they have. Like, it doesn't matter what they have, just identify what they're playing. Because once you identify what you're playing, then you can actually play properly. Whenever I go against Goblin Drill, I like to counter it with the Goblin Gang. You can always go Ice Spirit and Log or Knight if you don't have it, but my favorite part about using the Goblin Gang on it is that it's a +1 trade, but not only is it that, you get a counter push as well, which is very annoying, forcing him to spend minimum 2 Elixir, which just makes it into a +3 trade. He has the Demolisher variation, which means I'll only be able to get damage through Rockets, Princesses, and Evo Goblin Barrels. Evo Goblin Barrels will get damage sometimes, not every time. And you always want to use your Evo Goblin Barrel very, very well and efficiently because all it takes is one good Evolved Goblin Barrel to actually win the game. Evolved Goblin Barrel made classic Logbait so much different than what it already is. Okay, I'm just going to Goblin Gang at the bridge here. You always want to keep up pressure in this matchup, but also be careful whenever they have the Evo Goblin Drill. Whenever I'm against Evo Goblin Drill, I like to count out on my fingers when they're going to be back to their Evo Goblin Drill. Just makes it very nice and simple on when they're going to be back, and you can keep a very good track of it. I'm just going to go for the Knight in the back. I'm trying to get to my Evolved Knight right now. I do have the Evolved Goblin Barrel up next, so I can do something with this. I can make stuff work. I can make a nice double lane push here with the Ice Spirit, so I'm going to Ice Spirit here. I'm going to have the Evo Barrel ready. I'm just going to do it. I want to do the right side with the real barrel because he's going to block the Ice Spirit. There he does, and nice. That's another reason I set up my push like that, because they always log on their low HP tower, and I get very nice damage with my Goblin Barrel on the right side, allowing me to switch lanes as well. I like to do these high Inferno towers on the Goblin Demolishers because, honestly, it's very hard to actually take care of the Goblin Demolisher. He does have Evo Drill on the way, so I have to be very careful about that. Outcycled his Log so I can get a nice barrel, and I will take that Rocket on the Demolisher. Whenever it's on the low side, I do like to Rocket the Demolishers in double Elixir. Sometimes in single, only if it's first play, though. I'm just going to Knight here because that Drill is in the front. His next Goblin Drill is Evo. Most important thing is to keep track of the Evolved Goblin Drill. And whenever they have the Evolved Goblin Drill, you can't Rocket Cycle their tower because you will have to overspend on the Evolved Goblin Drill. It's just the nature of the card. And since he logged, I can go for a Princess plus Knight at the bridge. Then I also want to go for a Goblin Gang if he Goblin Demolishers. But since he did it there, I'm going to go for the Inferno Tower. Having these Inferno Towers help you very much control the pace of the game. Makes it very hard for them to actually make pushes, because Goblin Drills on their own are never hard to defend. I'm just going to Evo Barrel here, make the Evo Barrel, the small one, go to the right, since he's going to log that one anyways, and he didn't even log any of them, so I just get a bunch of damage on the left, more than I had on the right in the first place, and now I can just Princess on the bridge, because you always want to go opposite lane if possible. Now he has no log, because he logged the Princess, and I can get a really nice Rocket here. So basically just playing with their hands, abusing the Evo Barrels very well, and he just gives up. See, that was a very textbook way on how to play against Goblin Drill Cycle with this deck. You just pressure them very, very well, control the game with the high Infernos, and you make it a pain for them to actually get to the Evo Drill. Because since you're countering the drills with the Goblin Gang, it's very hard for them to get to the Evo Drill without being down a ton of Elixir and you controlling the game. We're up against Balloon God. This guy plays with Lumberloon Freeze. Lumberloon Freeze has been a very tricky matchup recently because of the Evolved Wizard, but there's always some nice tricks that you can do to win. A very, very nice strategy against Lumberloon is to pressure them all game long with the Evolved Goblin Barrel, especially because they always have to overspend. Their deck is super cheap. The cheapest card in their deck is the Tornado for 3 Elixir, so they never have any cheap cards, so they end up having to ignore a lot of damage, or they end up having to overspend a lot of the time, so you can use that to your advantage. Always protect their princesses as well, because you have Tornado and Freeze in their deck, which means they're actually unable to kill your princess if you play it properly. And now I can barrel in the middle since he has no bowler and no Tornado. In this matchup, I really, really like to abuse the fact that everything is expensive, like I just said, but on a more like in-depth note, you want to be very aggressive because everything they do will spend a lot of Elixir, and you can force out a lot of overexpensive counters, and you can defend for cheap. So here, my Princess and Log should actually kill that Wizard, and that's going to be a huge problem for him. Yep, forcing out the Lumberjack, and that's what I mean with the overspending. I'm not going to waste my Evo Barrel just yet. I kind of want to let that Wizard go, but I'm going to Goblin Gang on it. But I do it like this to make him have to defend the Goblin Gang. He will have to go for a 4 Elixir card. Yep, there's the Inferno Dragon. Gonna Princess at the bridge here, opposite lane, because everything I'm doing is getting either an equal trade or a positive trade. And now what I can do is... Okay, that was an overcommitment. I'm going to Inferno Tower. I was going to pressure him again with the Evolved Goblin Braille, but that was kind of a weird night, honestly. Inferno Tower, another very good card. I like to do high Inferno Towers because then they can only freeze the Inferno Tower. They can't hit the tower, they can't hit the Princess, and it'll be really annoying. Here I can go for an Evo Knight, an Evo Goblin Braille, and an Ice Spirit. I pressure both sides, and it's undefendable on both sides. Yep, there it is. He spent 10 Elixir, meaning the Evo Goblin Braille is going to go to town, and it's basically taking out that entire right side tower. It might even take it out completely, and it does. Wow, 2 HP left, just log to finish it off, also damage down the wizard. And that's what I was saying with the Lumberloon players. They really can't defend double lane pressure in single elixir or just a lot of pressure in single elixir. And that kind of goes on with the double lane pressure. All Inferno Tower here. I know he can go for the freeze. I'll Ice Spirit last second. And even if he freezes, I can get the Goblin Gang down. I don't know what that freeze was. But that is going to be a good game, and he gives up again. So I will see you guys against the next deck. We're up against King. That means he's playing Giant Graveyard Arrow Snowball with the Skeleton King. Skeleton King version is always a little bit harder than the regular version, but because he's playing with Cannoneer, and since this deck has typically been playing Cannoneer, there's a few tricks that you can do, which I really, really like. That was really aggressive. I'm just going to go for the Ice Spirit, going to go for the Goblin Braille opposite lane. In this matchup, you need to pressure when they Graveyard, otherwise it's actually very hard to break through. This Goblin Gang will save me on defense. Bad arrows, I'm going to Knight 2. There we go. I got much more damage than he did. That was way too aggressive. In this matchup, though, if you think about it, it's genuinely difficult to break through unless you go in as they're attacking or before they defend. Logbait, in a whole, is all about defending with cards because they won't be able to spell it, or using cards for them to spell so you can defend, or using cards that on defense that they need to spell so you can attack kind of thing. I'm going to Princess to bridge opposite lane. He doesn't have a reset to the Inferno Tower, so I can always be extremely aggressive whenever they Giant in the back in single elixir because they don't have enough elixir to make a good push with. And there, he spent 6 elixir on my 6 elixir. I'm going to spend 5 here on the Inferno Tower to kill the Giant, and that will also kill the Knight, giving me an equal trade on everything, and then I can just Ice Spirit for the minions. So now I'm actually up 2 elixir out of this entire exchange, which is perfect because against a deck like this, you always want to be up an elixir. Now I can Goblin Gang at the bridge. I will force up the Snowball, but the only thing is that Goblin is going to run up into the tower. I'm going to Princess the bridge again, and now he's going to have to actually waste the arrows. And now he doesn't have the arrows for my Goblin Barrel, which is really, really good. I can just go for the Evolved Goblin Barrel. And it doesn't matter what lane I put it in, but I want to put the Evo on the right because I know he has to Archers, and the Evo will get one shot by the Archers. So I'm going to get some really nice damage on the left side. And since you need to attack while they're attacking, opposite lane is preferred in this matchup. So I'm just making it so I'll get the most amount of damage in the other lanes in case he switches. And since I logged, he could go in here. All right, just going to go for the Evo Knight at the back. And also, he doesn't have Skeleton King because he does have the Evolved Knight. They never run Evolved Knight and Skeleton King. Going to Goblin Gang opposite lane. He might try to go all in right now because he kind of has a weird time defending. I'm going to Inferno Tower here, knowing he's going to Graveyard, Ice Spirit here. Bad Evo Archers, really good Princess going to log. And since he used a Snowball on the earlier Goblin Gang, now I can just go for my second Goblin Gang, and he can't spell that down. That will defend the entire Graveyard. And now I can go for the Barrel, him having no Snowball, no arrows, meaning he won't be able to defend the Goblin Barrel, or he has to overspend. And now you see on the left side, having to waste a Snowball on my old Goblin Gang, so he can't even go in for a Graveyard anymore. And this is why you need to play your bait cards very, very smart. You need to pressure while defending, pressure before defending, so you're actually able to defend their annoying big pushes. Gonna cycle the Goblin Gang in the back here because he won't be able to go in, kind of covering the left side, and he doesn't have any good value on it. Gonna Barrel here to pressure, then again Inferno Tower on the Giant at the bridge, knowing he would have to overcommit on the Barrel. Now I can get a nice Rocket, and since his tower's at 953, 2 Rockets will actually take out the tower. And just so you guys know, very important to know, Rocket plus log does 626, and then 2 rockets plus 2 logs obviously does 1252. That's a very important number to keep in your head to know. And this guy also gives up. GG's. Sayaka. Alright, this guy is 2.6. I have my Goblin Gang ready. Whenever I face 2.6, beautiful log, I like to actually pressure them really hard. I'd say it's one of my better matchups, and because I know how to play against it super well, I nearly never ever lose to it. In this matchup, I like to counter the first hog if possible with the Goblin Gang because going for a Fireball prediction or a log prediction with the first Hog Rider is way too risky, and you're just getting a nice counter push. Getting a counter push in this matchup is always nice because they're always struggling in Elixir anyway, so just getting a nice trade like that is always beautiful. And I'm going to get some nice early damage here because he did end up going for the log on my Goblin Gang. I always like to play passive-aggressive until I get to my Evolved Goblin Barrel. Once you get to your Evolved Goblin Barrel versus 2.6, you've pretty much already won because Right when you get to the evolved Golem Barrel, you have 2 pushes, and they're never able to defend 2 pushes as long as you do this one thing. Do not use your evolved Goblin Barrel when they have Evo Skeletons. They will need to use their Evo Skeletons to actually outcycle you, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. And that's a mistake I see a lot of Logbait players doing, is that they waste their evolved Golem Barrel into evolved Skeletons, and they don't know when to take damage. Here I can Goblin Gang, because if he goes for the log, then I Goblin Barrel on the right and he loses the game. He will have Evo Skeletons, though, soon, so I have to be very careful. Just going to Princess to bridge. His next Skeletons are Evo. I can go for the Golem Barrel as well. He will have to Fireball or Cannon, and if he does, he doesn't have any Elixir, and that should actually already be good game. Okay, yeah, nice. Very good win right there. He went way too aggressive with that Hog Rider, thinking that he outcycled me. That's why I always like to use the Goblin Gang if possible, and I also ignored the Ice Spirit Evo because he would get a lot of damage, but as you see right here, I ended up taking the entire game, which was great. But normally, you want to get to your Evo Goblin Barrel and pressure dual lane with your Evo Golem Barrel when they have used their Evo Skeletons, because they will have to overspend a bunch, either leading you to get a lot of damage or leading you to get a free rocket on the tower. GG's. We're in the next match here up against Sander. Sander's one of the best Goblin Giant Sparky players in the world. This will be a really good way to teach you guys how to be Goblin Giant Sparky. I actually had quite a few people asking me how to win. I do think that Goblin Giant Sparky is quite a good matchup for Logbait, depending on the variation. The one that he plays, I always beat him. He doesn't have a reset to the Inferno Tower, and that's going to be the key to winning this matchup, is abusing the Inferno Tower, but also abusing all the positive trades. And here's a tip. You can go Knight opposite lane of the Mega Minion when they put it behind their King Tower to actually kite it opposite lane of your Princess, because they always Mega Minion into the Princess. So I can do that, and now I can Inferno Tower the bridge, and he spent all the Elixir. I can go Ice Spirit Barrel. Here's 1 card away from arrows. He has to... Wait, what the heck? He fireballed the Princess. Now I can go Goblin Gang immediately. He doesn't have enough for the arrows, and I think that's good game already. Maybe not good game, but that's going to be basically tower down. Really, really good start there. I don't know why he fireballed, but I did know that he wasn't going to have the best time defending, because if he didn't fireball my Princess, then he would have had to go for like the fireball on the barrel, then arrows on the Princess, and I would have been up a lot of Elixir, but I definitely wouldn't have gotten as much damage as I did. Just going to need to keep defending, though. I could go for the Knight the back here. Just play it safe. No point to go for the Princess at the bridge. I think what's going to happen is he's going to try to sack and attack, because otherwise there's really no way that he can win from this position unless I play really, really badly. Even though they do have Fireball, Arrows, and Rage, you can kind of manage around it, especially when you have the Evo Barrel where they need to overspend to defend it so much. I think I can Evo Barrel here, but I don't really want to. There's no point to really make any risks. Okay, yeah, just going to go for the Princess in the back here. That Knight will get a shot on the tower as well. That's 2 logs and a rocket, since rocket logged to 626. Okay, just going to go for the high Inferno Tower again. Not really like high, but not low either. Just going to put it right here. Nice. I did it right there so I didn't leak, but I also wanted to target quickly. Just going to Evo Barrel. Bro, I'm trying to teach you guys how to win this matchup, and this guy's not making it an easy showing, because it's much easier to make the proper plays whenever they're making all the wrong ones. That will be a dead Knight, though. That tower is down on the left. Had the mini Pekka on the right side. Tower down. Can just go for the Ice Spirit here. I think I don't even need to log, but maybe I will just in case. I'll barrel just to save it. Rocket for the Sparky. If you rocket quickly on the Sparky, whenever you have a Princess down, you'll actually kill the Sparky before the Sparky shoots and your Princess lives. He's probably going to give up now. No way he continues playing. Oh, wait, never mind. Okay. I'll just defend here. Defense is really, really simple since they can't reset the Inferno Tower. Whenever they have Goblin Giants coming down like this, okay, I was going to say I like to put the Inferno Tower in the corner so they can't actually block it in the middle with maybe a Mega Minion, but he gave up, so I'll see you guys in the next match. Alright, we're up against this guy. This guy plays Lavaloon Void Evo Zap Tombstone. Pretty difficult matchup, I would say, if they know what they're doing, but you can definitely win if you play perfect. Since he ignored that, I know he's going to lob it in the back. In this matchup, honestly, sometimes I feel like it's up to the opponent, but there's some things that you can do to get them to make mistakes. I will have to go for the early Inferno Tower here just because of my card cycle. I'll have the Ice Spirit ready to block the Void, though. Okay, there's the Balloon. I'm going to go for the Goblin Gang. If he zaps, it's okay. Yeah, there's the zap, and then I'm just going to Ice Spirit with the Princess. I will take a Balloon hit. Makes it much easier to defend, though, and my Princess will live because... Oh, no! I thought the Princess wasn't going to get hit by the bomb. It's still alive, and he doesn't have zap, so it's not like he can zap it, but that still kind of sucks. In this matchup, I always want to pressure them in both lanes because with perfect gameplay, you're going to need to continue switching lanes because they'll tombstone behind their tower, so you're not able to attack that lane anymore. I will go for the Goblin Barrel on the right just for that reason. There's a Skelly Drag, so he'll probably defend again as well, so I'll go for the Goblin Gang on the left side. Okay, wait, hold up. I'm going to go for the Princess here, and if he balloons, I'm going to lose my tower, but It's alright, because I can take his left side tower. I'm just going to Ice Spirit to cycle, and now I can go for the Evo Knight on the left side, and I can go for the Evo Barrel too. Okay, yeah. Just going to take the tower right now. I'm going to go for it like this because no matter what, he can't save the left side, so I may as well take the extra damage on the left side. And this is a situation where you don't want to be in, but I'm not against being in it either because with perfect defense, I can definitely win this. I want that Evo Knight to get targeted by the Princess Tower, and then I can go for the Goblin Gang down the center. He will have to Valkyrie here, but my entire thing behind this is I want to get the Evo Zap out of hand. If they get to successfully zap an Inferno Tower, like the Evo Zap on an Inferno Tower, you pretty much lose the game if they're playing well. So you need to try to force out the Evo Zap on defense, and part of that is getting the Valkyrie out and the Skeleton Dragons out, so I actually forced that out of him. Just going to go for the Barrel immediately once I have enough for Knight, and now I'm going to go for the Knight in the pocket. Also going to Goblin Gang since he has no Valkyrie or Skelly Drags, and this will force out the Evo Zap. Beautiful, exactly. That's exactly what I was saying, and I needed to do that. You just can't let them have the Evo Zap on your Inferno Tower, or you will lose. I do have a very significant Elixir lead, and he's also 4 cards away. Okay, now 3 cards away from Evo Zap, so I'm going to Inferno Tower at the bridge here. Take out that Lava Hound immediately. There's nothing he can do about it since he has no reset. Perfect. Kind of want to stop the Lava Hounds the best I can before they cross the river, if possible. And whenever they have no zap, I need to abuse that fact. I'm going to Barrel here. I'm not going to Knight, though, because I know he has Evo Valkyrie, and he'll have to overspend because he's scared of the Knight. Then I can just Knight. I need to keep stacking these Princesses to win. I'm not going to Goblin Gang, because although he will zap, there's no point to give him that value right there. Just time to let the Princess go. I think that's the biggest thing that separates me from the other Logbait players is I know exactly when to let my Princess at the bridge go, or even Princess on defense go. Going to Evo Knight here. And he has no zap again. He's 3 cards away from zap, so I can Inferno Tower the river again. But I'm also doing it in a way where it's not really predictable. You see, both Lavas he's played after trading towers. He hasn't even crossed the river, not even close. Just going to log that Tombstone. And that's what I was saying whenever you get locked into one lane against Tombstone. Very difficult to ever go. And I will force up the Valkyrie here on the right. I'm abusing my Princess very well since he only has Void. He can't really kill her that well since my cycle is way quicker than his. I can just get a beautiful Rocket right here. Gonna Ice Spirit as well for that one Skelly Drag. And I should take a Death Bomb. Not the end of the world. I'm still up so much. He has next Zap Evo though, guys. So I have to be really careful. I need to try to force out the Evo Zap or maybe even cycle 2 Inferno Towers. Just gonna go for the Evo Barrel here. Force out the Skelly Drags. He's gonna Valkyrie. I'll Goblin Gang middle. Maybe could force out the Zap. Okay, yeah, there's the Valkyrie. Wait, that's 2 Rockets. I think I could just Rocket cycle him. Just gonna have my Knight ready for the Void, and I'm pretty sure he's 1 Zap away from Evo, so I don't have to worry about the Evo. Yeah, that's a dead Lava, but he will Lava in the pocket, and his next Zap will be Evo, so I have to go all in right now. Gonna Barrel here. Not gonna Goblin Gang, though, because I don't think he's gonna Lava. Yep, he overspent on defense. Just gonna Goblin Gang here on the side, and there's the Rocket. GG's. Down to Rocket range. Let's go, man. I played that one so well after tower trading. We're in the next match here against Itachi Yuicha. Whenever I face this guy, he always has Golem, Skeleton King, or Elixir Golem. Elixir Golem probably being one of my worst matchups in the game because they have Arrows, Rage, Void, and Evo Wizard. You really just aren't able to defend their pushes. There's a few things you can do to give yourself chances, of course, and like encourage them to make mistakes, but okay, I'm going to Princess here, and it definitely is going to be Elixir Golem. That kind of sucks, but I know I can win if I play absolutely perfectly. Sometimes that isn't enough, but I know I can force him to make mistakes. I'm going to Golem Barrel here since he has no arrows. There's the Wizard, and I think that's the first mistake. I don't think he should be going Wizard like that on my Goblin Barrels because he doesn't have Skeleton King, and he doesn't have arrows in cycle, so I can actually make a really nice push right here. Just going to go for the Knight, and I do kind of want a Goblin Gang behind this. I think I won't because if he's a regular E-Golem player, he's just going to ignore it and try to take my entire right side tower, and I will lose, but it's good to know that he doesn't really know how to play against this kind of deck. I will Goblin Gang on the right side now. Probably force out the Skeleton King. Nice, okay. Because he played Skeletons, he got back to the Skeleton King. In this matchup, you need to bait out their arrows with your Princess so you can use your Goblin Gang on defense. Even though the Goblin Gang Spear Goblins do die to the Rage, the regular Goblins do not, so you need to abuse that fact, and I can Evo Barrel right now. Evo Barrel doesn't get the most value in this matchup. Yeah, nice. He arrows the wrong side as well. He did like both of the wrong spells on each side, which is perfect for me. I can go Evo Knight plus Log here. I'm going to go for the Gang in a second, though. Maybe I could predict the Evo Skeleton's going to Gang right now. There's the Wizard. Unfortunate timing, but I'm going to Princess this. Him having Cannoneer Tower is great for me. Just going to go for another Barrel, and he actually can't defend this. It should be Tower Down. Maybe not Tower Down, but that's a ton of damage. Forcing out the Evo Wizard meant it so he wasn't able to attack. Let's go. I just need to defend now, and I should be able to win. You just really have to abuse their cycle to win this matchup. Okay. To defend, though, defense is a tricky part. Honestly, breaking through is not that hard, but defending is so hard. I like to attack the Skeleton King individually. I feel like the Skeleton King opposite lane always gets you, so I like to Inferno Tower or Knight on top of it. And since I don't have my Knight, I'll Inferno Tower right here. I may need to get a good Rocky. He'll have to block that or it's going to kill the Wizard, unless that Bat. Oh, that Bat, man. Okay, it's fine. I'm going to Goblin Gang here. Going to Princess all the way opposite lane. And you see right there, like I was talking about with the Goblin Gang, even though he killed the Spear Goblins, the regular Goblins, they don't die. Now I can go for the Inferno Tower, Ice Spirit here, gonna Princess again, and then I'm just gonna log for the Evo Skeletons, not playing any games with that card. Goblin Gang, and that's good game. It went exactly how I played with. He raged my Goblin Gang because he had to kill my Princess, and then I'm just easily able to defend with the 3 Goblins on 1 HP because I have the Knight blocking for the Night Witch. And GG's. Let's go, man. Alright, guys. We are against Titan, the best Expo player in the world right now. Just gonna go for the Goblin Brill here. Expo is actually a very complicated matchup. A lot of you guys know, and a lot of you guys actually ask me how to beat Expo. And me personally, I beat Expo, I would say like 95% of the time, 98% of the time. I don't know about 98, but I beat it. Like if you gave me Expo 100 times, I'd probably beat it like 90 plus times. I think that Expo is a really easy matchup if you're good at Logbait. And here I do have the Evo Knight, which makes it much nicer for me as well. Whenever they have these Teslas at the bridge, I just like to cycle cards opposite lane. And I do like to rocket their Expos in single Elixir whenever they're like without anything. Or I mean with something, but whenever they're without anything, I like to go for the Inferno Towers. But I always have to pair the Inferno Tower with my Knight at the bridge, or else it's going to get DPS down by like a Tesla, Archers, and stuff like that. Just have to be very careful against Expo, actually. But if you play perfectly, should be an easy matchup. Against the top Expo players, they kind of know they won't get a lock against a player like me. So they try to Fireball cycle while pressuring. And in single Elixir, they don't really even bother to pressure unless it's to force out a rocket, and then they just Fireball my tower. It's quite annoying, to be honest. This matchup is kind of similar to the 2.6 matchup, where every single Evo Barrel will give me a very nice positive trait and can help me get rockets off on the tower and start rocket cycling them. I can Princess on the right because if they have a Tesla up at the bridge, like I said, I just like to cycle cards opposite lane at the bridge because you can't really do anything else, to be honest, and it's just kind of feeding their Tesla if you don't. Nice Fireball by him. Not really surprised that he took it. I think he would have taken that Fireball no matter what, just because the Tesla was down. And once again, just going to keep on cycling cards at the bridge. I do have the Evo Barrel, which is nice. I don't want to do it right away, though. I want to wait for a good opportunity to get a nice Evo Barrel down. Okay, I'm just going to go for the Inferno Tower plus Ice Spear. I know he's not going to protect this, assuming that I don't do anything. Perfect. It's a little bit of a mind game right there, to be honest, but I knew that he'd just assume I'm going to rocket. And I do have Evo Knight, so that means I can get a rocket off, but I'm going to go for it right here with the Evo Knight and the Princess at the bridge. Very nice damage right there. I should force out a Log or an Evo Tesla. Nice. There's the Evo Tesla. Beautiful play by me, getting me up about 500 damage. So it's good to use the Evo Knight. I basically got a rocket's worth of damage with that. But now he has the Evo Archers. And when they have the Evo Archers, it's a bit more complicated. You want to rocket Expos whenever they have the Evo Archers because Evo Archers just do so much damage. Okay, just going to Knight here. I know he's going to keep on cycling, but I didn't want to put that all the way in the back either, because if I put that all the way in the back, then he was going to Expo at the bridge on the right side lane. I like to cycle all of my cards in the top middle, never really in the back except Princesses. He may snipe this with a Tesla, but I don't really mind too much. I think I may just use my Evo Barrel here because I just don't want to waste time anymore and actually start cycling through my deck. Let me log that. I think from now on, it's going to be Fireball Cycle. Very nice log, though, actually. And you see right there, he had to double defend the barrel, which is great. I can go for another barrel right now. He's still not back to log yet. He's back to log now, but he has to watch out for the Spear Gobs. Nice. Very good chip on the left. Going to go for the Princess at the bridge. Pre-log for the Archers. Oh, man, he switched up the placement. All good, though. I can just go for the Evo Knight in the middle. But you guys kind of see how I'm pressuring him really well, and he's never really been able to get an Expo off in double Elixir so far. Going to barrel as well since he won't be able to log the right. It will be annoying. Princess to bridge on the left. And just to be annoying, force out the Tesla, which is great. +1 Elixir trade right there. If he keeps fireballing my tower, I will start rocket cycling. That's kind of the threat that I make, is if he fireballs me too many times, I'm just going to start rocketing. I won't rocket yet. I like to cycle a Knight in the back first. And here, he'll probably start to go in. Okay, never mind. He's playing quite weird, honestly. I think he's switching up his style because I kept beating him. I can Princess like this. He will log on the left, so he won't be able to log on my tower. Very nice. Just going to go for the Goblin Gang plus Knight since he's trying to spell cycle, so I can always be really aggressive like that. Force out the Evo Tesla. Going to go for the barrel. My next Knight is Evo, so I think I will just start rocket cycling his tower, knowing I can get away with it if I play well in triple Elixir. Okay, yeah, there's the Fireball. Just going to rocket again. I do have the Evo Knight. I don't think he's going to Expo. It doesn't look like it. Just going to go for the log here. Okay, there's the Expo. I'm going to Evo Knight to tank for my Princess. Kind of a weird play, but I think he's trying to double stack Expo, so I'm not just able to get a second rocket on his tower. Goblin gang here. Just going to log on the archers because I know he's trying to build up a really big push. I'm not going to rocket him back this time because he is up a lot of Elixir and he does have a really good setup. He's doing this to kind of bait my rocket out. He's not back to log yet. Nice, I get one stab. I'm going to Goblin gang on the right, try to take out that Expo. Okay, there's the Fireball. Just going to rocket him again. I'm going to Knight first, though, because my next Knight will be Evo, and if I Knight before my rocket, I'll actually get back to my Knight before my rocket since I'm playing a card. And now here I'm back to the Evo Knight, so there's no chance of him breaking through. Evo Knight, and that will be a good game. I can just Goblin gang here. Gonna log as well. I don't need to rocket the tower. I probably could have like stalled and rocketed, but there's no need to. So that will be a good game. Very perfect match here against Expo. Played that right up to par. If you play like that, I really think Expo can never win. I have to mess up for Expo to win, but that's like a great way on how to play against Expo, I would say. We are in the next match here up against this Japanese player. I'm not really sure what he runs, but let's see. Okay, he has Bowler. That means Lumberloon or E-Giant, I guess. I remember a lot of Japanese players playing E-Giant, so maybe E-Giant. I'm going to Inferno Tower up top, though, because I do think there's a higher chance of it being Lumberloon, but even if it is E-Giant, it's not like he can just E-Giant the bridge. I mean, the Inferno is in the middle. He won't have enough for lightning, so I think it's all right. We'll also take care of the Bowler. Okay, that was a... What the heck? I'm just going to barrel here. He doesn't have any Elixir to defend that barrel. Just Ice Spear on the E-Giant, then log it, and everything will literally die to the Inferno Tower. That's what I was saying, so that's why I don't really mind going for high Inferno Towers against E-Giant. High Inferno Towers against E-Giant are actually underrated because they're usually never able to afford lightning, and if they are, it's not even a good play because then you can just get a nice counter push by putting like Knight on their Bowler and stuff like that. So since I have a lot of damage, I can play a bit more aggressive than normal because he's going to have to defend everything. There is the Phoenix, but right now I really just want to figure out what kind of E-Giant deck that he has because he went so aggressive, I actually don't know what his variation is. I do think it will just be the typical cannon one, but I need to be sure before I try to do anything too crazy. Since he cycled his Bowler, I can barrel. I will force out the NATO. This is a tip that applies to every deck, but mainly, not mainly, but very importantly, Logbait is keeping track of cycle and elixir. And I'm going to give you like a mini rundown on how to do it. This all comes with practice and time, but the dummy way of saying it is whenever you play a card with Logbait, you will get that card back after 4 cards. So let's say I play my Goblin Gang right here. Once I play 4 cards, I will have the Goblin Gang once again and use that versus your opponent to actually keep track of whenever they have their cards. The only exception of that rule is if they have a champion on the board. Every time they play a card, they will have it in 3 cards instead of 4. And that's how you want to be tracking their cards. And for Elixir, Elixir comes in at the same increment every time. My advice is to use your Elixir bar to track theirs. Whenever you're gaining an Elixir, they're gaining an Elixir, and you can just kind of do math from there to know how much Elixir they have. Like, they spent 5, I've gained 3, so they have to have 8 kind of thing. So that's very important with every deck, but especially Logbait because a lot of your damage comes from capitalizing at the right moments. You always need to cycle a lot of Inferno Towers in this matchup. And see, this is why the high Inferno Towers come in so clutch, because now he doesn't have Lightning and Cycle to actually go in with because he just used it on my other Inferno Tower. He will get a lot of Evo Bomber damage here, but I'm going to walk out of this with a King Tower activation, so it's actually not the end of the world. Princess right here will defend a Bowler shot, and then I can go for the Log plus Goblin Gang, defending the Bowler, but also activating my King Tower. And since I have such a good lead from him not having Barbarian Barrel in his deck, I can kind of afford to take some Evo Bomber damage like that here and there in return for the King Tower activation. Just going to barrel here, force out a NATO, and once... Oh, he's actually trying to go all Inferno Tower here, as far away as possible. If I put it 1 tile lower, the Bowler would have pushed it. Always have to watch out for stuff like that, and then can go for my log here on defense. And you see, with the King Tower activated, he just can't hit me. It's impossible, pretty much, as long as I play well. Just rocket on that Phoenix. He's saying good game. I hope he gives up. Just going to Princess to bridge, assuming he gives up. Bruh. He keeps playing, but whenever you activate your King versus E-Giant, it's wraps. They can't break through anymore. You can go as aggressive as you want. And that is the sweet spot. 1180 is under 1252. So that is 2 rockets, 2 logs. I'll cycle the early Inferno Tower, though, because if he lightnings this, then he won't have anything for my next Inferno Tower when he E-Giants to bridge. And if he doesn't lightning it, then it will just kill everything. Okay, he spent way too much Elixir there. He spent 9 Elixir on that. A very nice trade for me. Just going to Knight here and kind of ignore the Bowler. I think I can just rocket the tower right now. But I'll Goblin Gang since he has no Bowler. Okay, I'm going to rocket right now, though, because that Goblin Gang will either force out a response or damage on his E-Giant a ton. And now I can just go for the very far-placed Inferno Tower. And since I have the King Tower up, there's nothing that he can do. Just log, Go for the Ice Spirit here. He Lightnings. Doesn't matter. Rocket to finish off, and that will be good game. Very nice gameplay against E-Giant right there. E-Giant is not a difficult matchup whenever they don't have Barbarian Barrel. We still have to know exactly how to play, and I showed very well how to play right there. Alright, we are against Epic Ryo. I don't think I've ever faced this guy before, but he does have a Bandit. Bandit in this meta usually means Pekka. Pekka is really, really popular with the Evo Wizard, Ram Rider, and the Void. Not an easy matchup per se, but it's definitely not like a really difficult one either. Just need to figure out their exact deck and play accordingly. Oh, Goblin Gang opposite lane since he has no Zap. Force out the Wizard, which is really good. So he spent 8 Elixir right there. When he spends 8 Elixir, that means I can... Okay, he has the Battle Ram version. That's important. I'm going to Princess Ice Spirit here. Then I can Knight like this. This is my favorite way to defend Royal Ghost. I like to go Knight opposite lane. And you see that will actually defend some of the Barbarians from the Battle Ram. And it will kill a Royal Ghost as well. So just getting a 2-for-1 Knight right there. It's really important to abuse the Royal Ghost hover mechanic when you're trying to defend against Pekka Bridge Spam decks. 100% he has Pekka. I'm going to let that Bandit go and then go for the Goblin Gang. I meant Princess go, by the way. Will force out another Zap on defense. But if I force out the Zap, that means his next one will be Evo. For some reason, he didn't Zap. He might Pekka the back. I'll barrel here. Yeah, since he ignored that, I kind of had a feeling he was going to Pekka in the back, so I just tried to get a quick little pressure in for some damage. You never want to early Inferno Tower against Pekka when they have Void, because you'll have to block the Void very, very well. This isn't really an early Inferno Tower. It will kill the Ghost, and I'll have my Ice Spirit ready to block the 2 Void shots. Just going to Ice Spirit here. And even if he zaps, that will still take out the entire Pekka. I will have to go Goblin Gang, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, he doesn't even bother trying to kill it even more. In this matchup, you mainly have to track their Evo Zap. Okay, he has a Prince. I did not know that. It's going to Goblin Gang here. And then I can just go for the Evo Barrel. Should force out the Zap, and that's still not dead. Going to Evo Barrel like this since I do have the Knight tanking. That should just be a ton of damage, which is why I switched up my Evo placement. Yeah, that's tower down, and that should be a good game. Very nice win right there against Pekka. I can activate my King Tower, and this will seal it. Pro tip right here, guys. If they have a Bandit, you can go Princess plus Ice Spirit, and you do activate the King Tower just like that, and that's a good game. I'll see you guys in the next match. Alright, we're against Levi SG. This guy always plays with Royal Giant. I'm not sure the variation of Royal Giant he's running this time around, but usually Royal Giant is a pretty difficult matchup for Logbait. It's a very complicated one as well at the top level if you and they really know what they're doing. If they have the Barbarian Barrel, I really like to use my Goblin Gang low because then they're actually not able to spell away the Spear Goblins. So you can still use the Spear Goblins on defense even though they spell away the Goblin portion of the card. Okay, I'm going to Rocket that because I'm assuming he has RG Fireball like everybody else. I don't know why he has the Hunter. But, okay, I can just Inferno Tower here. This will be an easy defense. Kind of need to adjust the placement, though, so the RG goes in front. Beautiful. Easy defense right there. I don't really know why he went RG. I guess he's cycling to the evolved version, but I still don't think he was really that good of a play. I got a free rocket on that Ghost there. Sometimes your cycle gets really awkward, and since he can't really reset my Inferno Tower, going for those aggressive rockets work out very well, and they usually kind of get baited out, especially right there when he went RG the bridge when I think he should have went RG in the back. This is another one of those matchups where you want to attack with your Evo Barrel when the Evo Skeletons are out of cycle, kind of like 2.6, because that's the only way to get a decent trade on the Evo Barrel is whenever they have the Evo Skeletons in their cycle. Okay, let me just go for the Knight in the back here, and I think I should be alright. I will have to be a bit wary of like an RG Evo Ghost. I mean, an Evo RG Ghost at the bridge, sorry. It's been a long day, guys. Sorry if you can hear my background noise as well. It is raining outside right now pretty badly, kind of storming. Whenever they have the Hunter in cycle, you want to put the Golem Barrel on the side or in the corner by 1 tile. It actually does get some damage against Hunter compared to the normal middle position. Kind of a small tip against Hunter right there. I love doing that play. They don't even realize it to an adjust their Hunter spot. Okay, I'm just going to go for the Evo Knight in the back here. But on the right side, because if he defends that Princess, it will probably be with the Ghost. So now he'll probably have to Fisher. Now I can Evo Barrel here. Nice. I know he had Evo Skeletons in hand, but that was a unique position where I kind of just needed to cycle it in my hand. What? I have to Goblin Gang Ice Spirit. Bro, I'm actually kind of cooked, I think. I did not know that he had Lightning. He kind of caught me off guard. I will get a bit of damage with that barrel, 1 hit, but he's going to be up quite a bit now. I'm going to have to make a comeback. But now at least I know that he has Lightning. I'm going to need to play a lot differently, guys. This will probably be like the Lavaloon matchup where I do a lot of high Inferno Towers early and small things like that. Also, Princess becomes 10 times better now because there's no way for him to kill it other than the log. I also need to double cycle Knights. Let me cycle my first Knight in the back here. And since he has no log, I can abuse my Goblin Gang. But I think I will go for the Inferno Tower early, force out the Lightning on the Princess and the Inferno Tower. Oh, on the Knight. He's going to Princess here. And now I can just go for the Log. I need the Ice Spirit, and then I need to go for the Goblin Gang. I also need to go for an Evo Knight. If he logs here, he's kind of cooked. So yeah, he doesn't go for the Log. I can go for the Evo Barrel here. I have really nice dual lane pressure right now. This is perfect. This is kind of what I need. Nice. Right side? Okay. This is fine. This is fine. I have very good momentum right now. Just going to log everything to death. I need to keep spamming my princesses since he has no way to kill them. Very, very difficult for me, but I know exactly how to win this. Okay, I need the Goblin Gang Ice Spirit immediately to force out a log. If he lightnings here, that's just not going to do enough. Yeah, nice. Just go for the Knight here. And I also do the Inferno Tower right there, because if you do it there, he can't lightning my left side tower and the Inferno Tower, meaning he doesn't get value. I'm going to barrel here on the side where he can't log. I mean, not where he can't log, where he can't Hunter, sorry. He did get back, though, with those Evo Skeletons. Gonna Princess, but wasting the Evo Skeletons like that is huge, because you won't have the Evo Skeletons in line with my Evo Barrel. It doesn't look good for me, guys, but I know I can win this. I'm very confident. He has no log again. Just going to go for the high Inferno Tower, force out the lightning. Going to Knight here on the side for the Ghost. Going to go Barrel, force out the log, or E-Spirit plus Skellies. Going to Princess. Okay, he E-Spirits, but he kind of needs the log as he's going to take 2 shots. That's beautiful. I'm just going to go for the second Inferno Tower here. He probably expected the Goblin Gang. Yeah, he goes for another RG. Kind of a bad play by him. I'm going to go for the Evo Barrel here, then Gang on the left. Yo, nice. This is a really good push. Going to go for the Ice Spirit. Nice, the Barrel on the left. Princess to bridge opposite lane, keep up the pressure. Gonna go for the log here. Then I can go for another barrel. That was a really nice setup right there. He has no log in cycle. He's 1 card away. He goes for the Fisher. I'm just gonna rocket that. The Spear Gobs are on tower, getting a ton of damage. Wait, is that tower? That's tower. Let's go, man. Once I figured out he had lightning, it was actually much easier. Just all those high Inferno towers. That very nice pressure, because lightning is very expensive. We are up against Mr. Never Die right here. Just gonna start off with the Ice Spirit to bridge and try to figure out what he's playing. He has the Bomber. Bomber could be a lot of decks, honestly. Just going to give it a bit and figure out what he has. Okay, he has Night Bomber. Looks like Sparky, to be honest. Drill, he would have the non-Evo version of the Bomber. Or non-Evo version of the Knight, so... Okay, Prince. Looks like that giant spam deck, honestly. Just going to go for the Inferno Tower in the middle. Prince is really hard to defend sometimes without the Inferno Tower, so I'd rather just play it safe and use the Inferno Tower. I'm going to Goblin Gang here too, otherwise that Prince will kill my entire Inferno Tower and he can just go for a Giant at the bridge and get a ton of damage. Bomber on defense, so he's 1 Bomber away from Evo. Against decks like these guys, the number 1 play is to count their Evo Bomber cycle. Evo Knight doesn't really matter too much, but Evo Bomber is very important because that's really the only way for them to break through if you're playing well, getting a nice Evo Bomber lineup. So I'm just going to perfectly count the Evo Bomber. Since he's played 2, he's played 1 card as well, so he's 3 cards away from the Evo Bomber. You need to be very exact on the Evo Bomber, or else you will lose the game, and I can promise you that as well. Princess in the back here. In this matchup, you're just playing very, very passive, just going for barrels whenever you know you can get very nice value on defense. For example, I have the Princess down. He ends up ignoring the Goblin barrel, so get a lot of damage there. And since he has no reset for my Inferno Tower, I can kind of abuse that fact as well. Really unlucky that Princess died. I don't know how that died. Not the end of the world, though. I don't know what he's doing now, but he does have the Evo Bomber in cycle, so we do have to be a bit careful. Yeah, that's just a free King Tower activation for me. I will just go for my Evo Knight like this, take some damage, and Goblin Gang on top of that Bomber. Very nice King activation right there. And this should already be a good game, honestly, as long as I play well. No way that I kind of choked this. I'll Evo Barrel like this. Not really even using it for the Evo, but just like the regular Goblin Barrel so I can get some nice damage on the left side. In this matchup, you can just stay in the same lane the whole time just because of how easy defense actually is in a matchup like this where they have no reset. They just don't have really a good push. Ice Spirit log for the Heal Spirit. Heal Spirit is quite annoying, but as long as you manage it well, you should be fine. Because even if they get a nice Heal Spirit, you can always just rock it on defense and kind of save yourself. Goblin Barrel right here with the Spear Goblin, because all he really has is Rage, right? So if you have anything tanking, or even threatening to tank, because you don't actually have to tank it, you just have to make it look like it's going to get tanked, and they won't Rage. They'll just go Mega Minion, Knight, Prince, something like that, maybe even a Bomber. Okay, let me log that. He's 1 Bomber away from Evo. Going to cycle the early Inferno here so I don't leak any Elixir and give him really good value on defense with Bomber. And I can Goblin Barrel here too. It's just the fact that I know I can get away with such aggressive plays just because of the Inferno Tower being unable to get reset. His next Bomber is Evo though, guys, so we have to be really, really careful about that. Gonna Evo Barrel, then I'm gonna let that go. I don't care if that gets 1 or 2 Mega Minion shots on the tower. Should only be 1 though. Gonna log that. Gonna Princess to bridge 2, just because I know whatever he does will just get fed by my Inferno Tower. Yep. I'm going to Inferno Tower that giant anyway, right? But why not Princess to Bridge, get the hit, and then just have that all die to the Inferno Tower anyways. Yeah, he's calling the good game. He kind of knows that he's not really able to break through. He will probably go for the Evo Bomber down the middle, though, trying to just, like, clutch, get anything that he can, maybe hit my Goblin Gang or something like that. But I'm not going to let that happen because I know his card cycle. Okay, Evo Bomber on defense, even better now because he won't really catch me off guard with an Evo Bomber at the bridge. Just going to Princess here. That will splash it in a second. There we go. Now it will die to a log. Don't have to worry about it anymore. Evo Knight, though. I could maybe go in opposite lane here with the Goblin Barrel. If I get a tiny bit of damage, I can get 2 rockets, 2 logs to finish off the match. I'm not going to rocket that. It's kind of risky. No really point to make a big risk when I can just defend and finish off the game. I feel like that's what a lot of people do wrong. They try to end the game too early and lose. Here, I'm just going to Ice Spirit on the Prince. I'll let the Mega Minion go, because if you look, I have 4,400 HP. Why would I potentially choke the game trying to defend a Mega Minion when I can take, like, what, 1,500 damage and guarantee the win? Gonna Evo Barrel Princess. I know he's gonna ignore the right side and over defend the left, so I can just end up taking the tower on the right side. And just like that, there it is. Tower down. Let's go. I'll see you guys in the next match. Okay, we're against little JC Nando. This guy always plays with Giant Sparky. Giant Sparky is a pretty simple matchup, I would say. No version of Giant Sparky do I ever really struggle with, but sometimes depending on the player, they can do some stuff that makes it hard, and you definitely need to still play well if you want to beat Giant Sparky, but this is definitely one of the matchups that I would prefer to play against. A Princess to Bridge here. Against them, you can be really aggressive. You guys are probably noticing a common theme. Whenever your opponent doesn't have a reset for your Inferno Tower, you can be very, very aggressive, and there's not really much that they can do about it, because Inferno Tower is one of those cards that if they don't have a counter for, they're going to have a very hard time actually breaking through that Inferno Tower, mainly when they're playing a beatdown deck. So I just went for the Ace Spirit Goblin Barrel there. Got a lot of damage. I can just let that wizard lock on and just go for my Goblin Gang, or I could just log like this. I want to time it for where the wizard's about to shoot. Perfect. So I will only take 1 hit from the wizard with the log. If you mistime it, you will take 2. I'm going to Princess again opposite lane. And no matter what he does, like if he goes like a Knight or a Goblin Gang, I can just go for, I mean, not a Knight or a Goblin Gang, a Knight or a mini Pekka, sorry. I can use my Goblin Gang or my Knight on it. And here, I'm just going to get a lot of Inferno Tower value, which is amazing. He just spent 7 Elixir as well, so I could just go for the Ice Spirit on that. I kind of want a Goblin Gang, but I won't. It'll be a little bit too defensive. But you guys already see, I've already gotten a good 2,000 damage. He does have the King Tower activated, which is great for him. Gonna make defense a lot easier, but if I just keep doing these small pushes, I'm gonna get damage over and over and over again. Not really much that he can do about these small ticks of damage. These small ticks of damage add up over the course of the game. If they're good, they let a lot of it go and they just try to go all in and try to take your tower, because if they're smart, they know that these small chip damages, they'll never actually break through defending everything like he's doing right now. I don't know why he's defending everything. That Spear Goblin will get a hit on the tower as well, and now I can go for another Ice Spirit Barrel. I will wait, though, so I have enough for Inferno Tower when I do it, because I don't want to get, like, rushed by, like, a Giant at the bridge or anything like that, because I do know he has Evo Knight and Evo Wizard. The only difficult pushes to defend with this deck are the pushes with Evo Wizard and Evo Knight. But a very good tip to know is that the log plus Princess Shot takes off the shield, and that will make the wizard be able to get rocketed. There's the Evo Wizard in the back. As long as I just save my Inferno Tower for the Giant, I should be all clear since he has no Evo Knight. Just going to Ice Spirit here in the back. I'm going to Inferno the bridge. I don't think he'll expect it. I've never done this against this guy before. Yeah, nice, exactly. My Princess will go down, but I couldn't have really done anything about it anyways. That Knight will also go down as well because he's trying to keep the Evo Wizard alive, but there's honestly no point. I can just get a really nice rocket here. I don't even think I need to rocket, but I will just to play it safe. Grab that nice rocket. Princess does die, unfortunately, but I just need like 300 damage to bring him into rocket plus log range. I'm not going to go for a barrel here into that wizard. There's no point to get too greedy, too aggressive, and overcommit. I feel like a lot of people do that wrong. They try to end the game too early, but I'm comfortable just giving the game like another minute and guaranteeing I win. Wizard's dead, so that is going to be a good game. Impossible to lose from here, and he gives up. Let's go. Very nice win, and I will see you guys in the next match. We're up against Haziel. Just going to start off with the Ice Spirit Goblin Barrel here. My favorite starting play with this deck is just Ice Spirit Goblin Barrel first play, assuming that I don't know their deck. Just a very safe play. Can't really get punished for it. Very, very nice if they have a bad cycle. You do get a ton of damage, and he has the Electro Wizard. Not many decks really run the Electro Wizard anymore. Okay, there's the Knight as well. I can Princess the Bridge on the right side lane, and he has Inferno Dragon. This looks like Mega Knight Ram Rider from back in the day. Kind of an OG deck here, wow. Haven't played against this in a long time. I do assume that he has the Evo Zap, though, instead of the snowball like this used to have. This matchup is really easy for Logbait as well. Just going to Inferno Tower here in the middle. They have reset for your Inferno Tower, but if you play your defenses properly, always bring stuff into the middle. They can never really break through. Your cycle is way quicker than theirs, and then with the Evo Barrel, you'll always get these nice positive trades. That's also a common theme with Logbait in 2024. Evo Barrel is used to get you positive trades in some matchups, but in other matchups, it's just your straight-up win condition. There's the Barbarian Barrel. You always want to go for Princess's opposite lane in this matchup. They're going to keep spelling her. Sometimes they're good at the bridge. Like right here, it's good at the bridge because whatever he puts, I can just go for my Knight or my Goblin Gang on top of. Like here, I'll Goblin Gang, he has to defend, and then I can Knight on his Knight. But a lot of the time, in double Elixir, you're just going to go Princess in the back over and over again, and they just can't break through with perfect defense, and you kind of abuse that. Right now, I'm going to go for the Evo Barrel plus Ice Spirit. I'm going to play a bit of a mind game here, though. He's going to assume the left side is the weak one, so I'm going to go with the Ice Spirit with the regular one. And there he goes, the Evo Zap on it. Getting the Evo Zap out of cycle is actually perfect because now he can't Evo Zap my Inferno Tower. So that's 2 more Zaps where his push won't do anything. The only push that will even be somewhat of a struggle to defend is the Evo Zap push. Against this deck as well, Rocket is completely broken. Rocket one-shots every single card in their deck besides Mega Knight and Ram Rider. And their Ram Rider just dies to a log if you rocket it. Now we can go for the gang here. Starting now, though, we're probably going to be a bit more defensive. Let me Knight the back here. Then I can go for the barrel. I want to pressure him because I could go for the Ice Spirit plus Princess to activate King if I want to. But he's going to Ram Rider, so I won't. I'll just go for the Inferno Tower plus Ice Spirit. That will jump. He's going to Zap for sure, but now I can Goblin Gang because he has no Zap in cycle. And now I can go for my Evo Knight as well. Block the Mega Knight. And that is a dead Ram Rider for 0 damage. And I have a counter pushing Knight on the right plus Spear Goblins and a counter pushing Knight on the left. So we can go for the Goblin Barrel here on the left. I'm going to go for a Trick Barrel. A lot of you guys ask me why I don't go for Trick Barrels. I don't go for many Trick Barrels because at top ladder, people just don't mess up and miss them. Sometimes they're good to put on the side, but I don't really do them too far backwards. They'll still just counter it with something else. Now, usually I'd rocket that, but I want to try to get a counter push. He has no Barbarian Barrel, so I could go for the Evo Goblin Barrel, but I think it's just better to defend. He could get like a Poison plus Zap here. But I think he's going to go for like a Ram Rider maybe. Oh, he has a Fireball, not Poison. Can Ice Spirit there on the Inferno Dragon. And then even with the Zap, the Inferno Tower is still going to melt that Mega Knight. I'm going to Goblin Gang here with the Evo Barrel because he's going to have to Barbell the right side. And then that left side is going crazy. Ewis is dead. I'm not going to Princess the Bridge. Going to take my damage. That's so much damage. It's just 2 rockets to finish off the tower. And that's why the Evo Barrel is so strong in this deck, everyone. Is literally just because he had to overspend on the right since it was low, and then the left side just gets a ton of damage because I put the regular one over there. So it's just a huge mind game with the evolved Goblin Barrel where, sure, the right side is the weak barrel, but you still need to defend it because that's your weak side tower. We're in the next match here up against this Japanese player. Just going to figure out what he's playing. He does have the Skeletons. Skeletons always really means a cycle deck. Cycle decks are sometimes hard for Logbait, but I feel like the Evo Barrel made them a lot easier since they don't really have much defense for dual lane pressure. I don't know why this guy's laughing either, but I guess I'll laugh back at him a bit too. Okay. He has the Wizard Skeletons. Might be E-Golem, actually. That's probably why he's laughing. He's playing E-Golem, man. Okay, never mind. He has Minor. Minor Wizard Skeletons. Wait, that means Minor Balloon. Minor Balloon. Okay, just gonna go for the Goblin Gang here. Doesn't really have many good cards. Okay, there's the Ice Golem. Just going to barrel as well, force out the Barbarian Barrel. At least he should have the Barbarian Barrel. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, he doesn't have Barba if he doesn't use it there, because that was all of his... He played 4 cards, so he would have had Barbarian Barrel in cycle, even if it was his last card. Maybe he has Bats instead of Barbarian Barrel. I'll Princess the Bridge, though. He does catch me, but that will force out the Evo Wizard, which is great. In this matchup, in all these Minor Balloon matchups where it's cycle, Princess the Bridge in double is bad, but Princess the Bridge in single is good. You want to spam Princess the Bridge because that's really the only time that you're able to break through with your Princess at the Bridge. Otherwise, they'll always have something in the middle, but in single, you can kind of get away with it, and if they predict wrong, you can use it on defense. I can Evo Barrel right now as well. We'll force out some good responses. Nice. Those are the Evo Barrel mind games again. Beautiful. Also, with these Snowball Minor Balloon decks, they never have a reset for your Inferno Tower. Need to make sure to abuse that fact. It will be a bit harder to abuse my Inferno Tower because he has the Bats, but as long as I have good Princess control and double Elixir, it will work out very well. And a Goblin Gang in the back. Then Evo Knight the Bridge. These pushes are always very, very good for me. And since he doesn't have Barbarian Barrel, I'm going to go for the Ice Spirit plus Goblin Barrel as well. Opposite lane. Try to make the dual lane pushes. Okay. Really nice damage. Going to Princess here to snipe that. Oh, I was hoping to get a splash on the tower. It's all cool, though. It's all cool, though. Keeping up really, really good pressure. That Evo Wizard Shield will die to the log. Always want to be forcing out the Evo Wizards in the middle or at the bridge, then in the back, because building up big Evo Wizard pushes are very, very annoying to stop. And now I can Ice Spirit Barrel Ops lane. I won't Ice Spirit, though, because I think it's just going to snowball, and that Bomb Tower would have taken out anyways. No defense? Okay. I'm going to Princess on defense here. We need to start setting up the Princesses on defense. There's the Balloons. I think I'm going to need to get a Rocket here. Yeah, those Bats. They always go for the Bats to try to push it. I'll just go for the Ice Spirit here. Beautiful defense. I was hoping that Miner would go to the King Tower. Kind of unlucky that it didn't. All good, though. We can go for the Knight, and then I can maybe go for the Goblin Gang plus Evo Barrel. Okay, gonna Princess here because of that Wizard. Wizard's making it a bit more challenging than normal, but as you see, he hasn't even touched my tower yet. That will die to a log now, plus the Princess shot. Beautiful stuff, guys. Beautiful stuff. Just gonna go for the Evo Barrel here. Force out a defense on probably the right side, then ignore the left. Yeah, there it is. Just gonna Evo Knight. Then I have Inferno Tower on the side, and then it can quickly Ice Spirit for the Bats because the Miner is probably going to be in the middle predicting the Inferno Tower. Let's go. Very nice mind game reads right there. They always have to Miner your Inferno Tower, or else they will just never break through because my cycle is just as fast as his, but obviously I have the Rocket. So he kind of needs to Inferno the middle where I can't Rocket the Miner and the Balloon, but he also needs to just make sure I just don't Inferno Tower it. Having the Bats make it a bit easier for him, but definitely not easy. Just going to Rocket there on defense. By the way, very, very good tip that you need to know whenever you play Logbait. Rocket plus Ice Spear or Rocket plus 1 Princess hit doesn't kill a Balloon. You need one Rockets and 2 Princess shots, or 1 Rocket plus Princess and Ice Spirit, or else the Balloon will live on literally 1 HP. Not many people know that, and they lose a lot of games to it. Okay, let me Rocket that again, and then I'll Goblin Gang, because I think the mine will be on the tower. Yep, there we go. Princess still alive. Bad Snowball. Just gonna go for the... just gonna go for a Barrel here. I'm going to go for the Ice Spirit as well. Keep up the pressure. I just need a tiny bit more damage plus Rocket Log twice to win. Ice Spirit the tower? Okay, wait. I'm going to Rocket that Wizard because I do have a Princess down, so he can't really go Miner Bats. Even if he gets... Oh, wait, I missed. Okay, guys, do not worry about this when I'm talking about how to play the deck, because you guys won't miss that. I will, but you won't. And then I just Rocket again. He didn't even get to my tower, even though I missed the Rocket, so it didn't even matter. Just cycling back to my next Rocket, and good game. Beautiful win. Only mistake was that Rocket. Alright, we are in the next game here against Hanyu MMV. Just going to start off with the Ice Spirit Barrel. Okay, he has a defensive Miner. Kind of an interesting defensive Miner from him. Barely even did anything. Just cycle my Knight in the back here. I do need to figure out what this man is playing. Okay, Balloon plus Guards. Just going to go for the Rocket on top of that. Bro, what? What was that Void? That's a Miner Balloon player moment, but it's definitely going to be Lava too if he has the Void. Lava Miner is going to be difficult for me, especially with the Evo Zap, because he just has that extra tank for the Miner and the Balloon, but it's, I mean, not for the Miner and the Balloon, but for the Balloon and the Lava Hound. All good, though. If I do really good pressure, I can win this easily. Ice Spirit here for the Valkyrie. The key to this matchup, like the other Lavaloon deck, but even more so, is that he's going to have a much harder time defending with a Miner than the other guy did with the Tombstone, but he will have easier offense. So, in this, you need to be even more aggressive than the last one, but the only difference is that they can't lock you into opposite lanes, like make you change lanes over and over again. So this guy, I will completely whittle down his left side tower, and since he's lava at the back, I'll cycle the Knight opposite. Usually I cycle the Knight same lane, but I think in this scenario, it's better to go opposite to force out a bit of a defense. I will Princess here, and he doesn't have Void back right away, so I can go for the Inferno Tower now. I'm also kind of baiting him to go for like a Void on top of both of these, and then I can block it with the Goblin Gang. He does have the Miner, though, so I can maybe catch the Miner, hopefully. Yeah, let me Goblin Gang here, then I can log there on the guards. Man, I hate whenever I don't catch that Miner, because I feel like it comes down to pure luck, but it's okay. Just Ice Spirit here, then Evo Knight to pull that back. He will have to get the Valkyrie down, but maybe he could just spam down my Goblin Barrel, and there's nothing he really has for this. He will have to Valkyrie, but it'll be kind of late. Yeah, Valkyrie last second, and he put it right there in case I went for the Goblin Barrel. Bro was scared. As long as I manage the Evo Zap well, these are pretty easy matchups. And also, a very good tip against Evo Zap decks are that they can't zap your Goblin Gang whenever they have the Evo, because they need to zap your Inferno Tower, so you can use your Goblin Gang Spear Goblins as some very nice air defense. I'm going to Evo Barrel plus Gang here, predicting the Lava. Perfect. He Voids on the right side. That Void is not going to do too much. Very, very good damage on the right side, and some nice damage on the left. I'm just going to go for the Inferno Tower here. He has no Void. He can't really break through my Inferno Tower with no Void. That Inferno Dragon's not going to do anything either. Princess will also have to be Minored. Okay, that was a bad Miner. Just going to Knight. There is the Evo Zap, though, so I'll Princess on defense. But now, like I said before, since he Evo Zap my Inferno Tower, these Goblin Gang Spear Goblins will pretty much take out that whole Lava, and I can just get a nice Rocket there on the right side. And like I said, these are literally a full air counter on their own. He does Void, so I have to Knight here to block, but now he can't kill my other Princess. So he could kill that one, but he can't kill the next one, and then he zaps to retarget it. Then I just go for another Goblin Gang. And this is the bait aspect of the deck that makes it so strong. He's just not able to spell everything. Even when he has the evolution versions of spells, he just can't get everything, and that's what makes this deck so good and so strong if you play it properly. I know he's just going to keep trying to predict my Princess and my Goblin Barrel, so as long as I play like a little bit like held back for a minute, he's just going to have to keep wasting Elixir. Gonna Goblin Gang here for the Inferno Dragon, force out the zap, and it just really doesn't matter. I can just go for the Goblin Barrel opposite lane since he went for that zap, and that Inferno Dragon will never take my tower unless my phone turns off. Even then, there's no way that I lose. Just Rocket Log will finish off the game. Very, very nice gameplay right here. Honestly, made that look free for me. Just gonna go for the Log here. Gonna go for the Rocket, and good game. I'll see you guys. We're in the next match here up against this Japanese guy. Just gonna go for my Goblin Barrel here. See what this man wants to do. Okay, he has the Log. Just going to go for the Princess at the Bridge. Against Log decks, I like the Princess to Bridge because it usually means they're cycle decks, and the best way to get damage is Evo Goblin Barrel and Princess at the Bridge. They're kind of the main sources of damage. I'll Knight here at the Bridge as well. Just to pressure him a bit. Knight Goblin Gang pushes are very annoying when any cycle deck doesn't have Log in cycle. Not that they're very effective, but they force out a lot of Elixir right there. Like you see, he went Knight, Tesla, and Goblins. That's 9 Elixir right there just for that 6, but it was also counter pushing, so it was even a better trade than that. Now I can barrel here to get to my Evo. Already to my Evo Goblin Barrel next, which is perfect. Looks like we're just up against a typical Minor Wall Breaker cycle deck. Normally this would be quite a tough matchup, but I used to win it a lot. I know how to play this matchup very well, and with the Evo Goblin Barrel, it's going to be very hard for him to actually defend. An Ice Spirit here. Then I can go for my Log on top of the Wall Breakers. And he still will need to defend this Goblin Gang. And because his cycle is kind of weird, yeah, he has to go for the Goblins there. He doesn't want to overspend. Spear Goblins always slip through as well in a matchup like this. Have to really use my Spear Goblins well. Also, guys, if you would really like, let me know if you guys want to see a Logbait Tesla guide next, or like other versions of Logbait, because I know this isn't the only version of Logbait, but it is the classic Logbait version. I thought if you guys, the majority of you Logbait players out there would be playing this version. That's why I decided to make a guide on this version. I can also go for the Goblin Gang here. He does have the Firecracker version. I can go for an Evo Barrel here. I think not yet. I'm going to go Evo Barrel right now with an Ice Spear on the right. He has to log the left, but then... Oh, he logged the right because of the Ice Spirit. He got scared. And I get so much damage. I'm going to Evo Knight here to protect this. This is going to get a lot of value on the left. I'm going to Princess to Bridge Ops and have my log ready for the Spear Goblin. I mean, the Goblin, sorry. I can activate my King here as well with the Goblin Gang. King activation versus deck is always huge. Log there, had it ready. That's why you always have it ready. He will probably go for the Log. Now I can just go for the Ice Spirit Barrel. In the left side is going to get some nice chip. Might demand the bats. Nice. And the Ice Spirit Barrel is going to get a ton of damage. This is why, guys, this is why you always protect your princesses. You abuse that Evo Barrel to get the positive trade, which led me to a ton of damage through other stuff. Can go for a Goblin Gang here. Can go for a Knight on top of the Knight. And can go for a Log here on the Evo Cracker. Also need the Ice Spear because the Evo Firecracker is nothing to be messed with, guys. Evo Firecracker can ruin your day. Gonna barrel Princess here because anything he does will get splashed by the Princess, and they're all splash units. That's 2 rockets, 2 logs to finish off the game. Let me Goblin Gang here. I have Log, and then I can go for this really nicely placed Ice Spirit outside of the Log range. Perfect Ice Spirit. Let's go. Just Knight. I can also go for the Evo Barrel, but maybe there's no point. I think I'll go for it just because I think he may get caught off guard, assuming I'm going to Rocket, but... Yeah, I'm going to Evo Barrel, then I'm going to Rocket too, because whatever he puts will get hit in the Rocket. He can Log now. He's back. I'm going to Log that myself. Even if he goes Wall Breakers, I'll just go for the Goblin Gang. I'll go for the Ice Spirit. Even if they connect, it's no big deal. I don't think they will. Yeah, they don't. Perfect. And that will be a good game. Just need to Rocket. I'm not going to be too quick, though. I'm just going to be safe. Going to play the Inferno Tower in the middle. He's going to Miner. He's going to Bats. I can just go for the Princess here on the side. Snipe those Bats. Log on defense because I don't need a Log to finish off the tower. Rocket does do 541. And then I can just Rocket to finish off the game. And good game. Very nice win right there. And let's go. Alright everyone, that will be the end of the Logbait guide. I really appreciate it if you've made it this far. Thank you so much for watching, and I worked hard on this guide, to be honest. It maybe wasn't 100% the best it could have been because of some things like files getting corrupted and stuff like that, but I feel like it turned out pretty well. I think I did a good job on explaining to you guys on how to play the matchups. On my second channel, I will be doing more guide-type videos, especially for Logbait in specific, so make sure to check out my second channel. I'll link it down in the description of the video so you can check out my second channel, and I'll have more Logbait guides consistently. They won't be as long. They may be like more guides like this one, but they will not be very long because I can't make hour-long videos every day for Logbait. They're very hard. Guides take a long time to make. But yeah, thank you guys for supporting me. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Have a great day, and thank you for the support.